Welcome back to Good Afternoon America. I'm Josh Miller.
And I'm Lara Spencer. And we ask this question: is it caring a lot or coddling too much? We want to go toe-to-toe on this topic because some parents go all out. They throw lavish parties for their kids, like the bash P. Diddy threw for his son Justin on MTV's My Super Sweet 16.
Yeah, you mean
it's like a wedding reception.
That's not everybody. Those are obviously extreme examples that we speak of, but more and more we do hear about helicopter parents, moms and dads watching their child's every move. I am admittedly kind of one of those, despite my best intentions.
It's a really, really fine line, and it's a tricky one, and I think a great question. So to answer it, we want to bring in our contributors. He's just naughty. He's a hilarious comedian. She actually will be helpful. She's the super nanny who will soon be returning to TV with a new project on TLC. We cannot wait to see it, and we can't wait to see them, so bring them out.
Before we have to, eat our Brussels sprouts, let's have dessert. What do you think, Sharon?
About the kids?
Yeah.
We definitely coddling these kids too much. I can't help but to watch MTV's like Sweet 16 and get physically angry that I see a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid with a crown and a Maybach, and I'm in a studio apartment. It makes me angry.
Well, you know what? I think we're all on the same page here. The reality is that some parents will indulge their kids at some stage or another, and mollycoddle them. How many of you guys truthfully can say that you have done that with your children?
I have.
Truthfully,
never the Maybach.
Truthfully.
But
I don't believe them. I'm not buying that.
It's not only monetarily, though. It's just like sort of standing over them when their homework is due. I'm guilty of that, where I sort of hover around instead of letting him make his own bed. If you don't want to do your homework, you will face the consequences.
Well, the reality is that, you've got to be able to allow your kids to have some breathing space and not feel like you're on top of them all the time. But the indulgent, the spoiling, the overpraising, it's not realistic. It's not grounded. And then your kids just, they grow up entitled.
Right.
They think that money's growing on trees, and they don't know the values of being able to just.
At P. Diddy's house, the money might be growing on trees. I don't know.
My parents made us fight for everything. When we went to eat, they took one can of soup, threw it in the middle of the room. We had to fight for it. That's the way you're supposed to raise kids. I think anything's cuddling, not just buying things. I saw one episode of your show when one mother was talking to her little son, and you was like, make eye contact, get down to his area. She got down there, he pulled back and punched her right in the nose.
They do, the kids get really violent.
And
but
she
again,
looked around, though. She looked around like she had to remind herself cameras were there because she wanted to choke that kid.
She was angry. She had to be taught. Most parents have to be taught, certainly, how to be able to restrain themselves and look at that. But that's, again, when you start to indulge, when you start to spoil, you create a whole different child.
Right.
Because then they expect it all the time. And also, some parents, they indulge because they want it to replace time.
Right.
Or to replace, the cuddles or the kisses that they haven't been able to give because they've been working, but they've been working.
Right.
They're working to put bread and butter on the table.
Okay. It's okay if you are. I know as a working mother, that's something that you always feel guilty about, that you're never there for anybody enough. But so what's your advice then?
I just feel it's really important for parents to be honest, to be realistic, and to be able to measure that with their kids. Like, be okay to say no. Can we just say no and be really comfortable with it?
Right.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's also important, and I try to do this here, to talk to kids like they're adults. Let them catch up to you. Treat them with the sort of respect, but also, make them, to a degree.
Respect kids?
You're not buying it?
No, if you're under my roof, I get all the respect. You getting free stuff.
But you got to give it, right? To be able to get respect, you got to be able to show it. You got to be able to show your kids respect because you're leading by example, But at the same time, when your kids are disrespecting you, you better be chin checking that behaviour.
Yeah.
You got to be able to do that.
Chin checking. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds painful.
It means putting your kids in line. It means,
It means whip that butt.
We've been asking you at home what you think, and what do you think? Do we coddle too much? It's like 2/3, 1/3. Yes. In fact, we do. And What do you think? 2/3 want surprise?
No, I think we know we spoil our kids. We all want to spoil them a little. They got our face. Every time we look at them, we just see our face younger. How can you not get gifts for that person?
It's true. What do you think?
Yeah, I just think we do. You know, I think seriously, parents coddle too much. They're worried that their children are going to hate them if they tell them that they can't have the latest technology, or you know, they all this pressure to keep up with the Joneses. You know,
Right.
next door did
Say
it, and
no,
now we
be
got to do
firm,
it. Yeah,
and just make them understand that you don't always get everything you want.
exactly.
say-
Strip the values, you know, and the morals, and bring it back to basics, and let your kids know that they've got to be able to work for that, and to be able to have that self-respect in themselves. You know, that they worked hard and can appreciate their belongings and what they have. Really, at the end of the day.
Being on a stage with you, I just want to say I'm sorry, Joe. I'm really, really sorry. Yeah, Joe Frost, Sherrod Small.